This is an introvert's worst nightmare. What's up, everybody? This is Zakari Max Rarity Murphy here with PNW Pack Fresh. You already know who we are, doing what we do, and for today we have a nice little treat for you. I'm going to show you my Max Rarity Mermail deck. This deck means a lot to me. Like, water has always been a thing of me with any anime or any trading card game or any Pokemon game. I've always chosen water. So this is why it's been my favorite deck. And it was the last deck I played before I took a hiatus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because college and all that other boring stuff. So yeah, with that said, let's get right into it. Alright guys, we're just going to go through a quick little walkthrough of the deck. I'm going to give you the cards, why I play each individual card. And then once I get to the end, I'll talk about the combos and how they interact and things you should look out for. Things that you choose to plus on, as well as things you maybe not want to get negated because they'll mess up your entire combo. That said, let's get down to it. First team play, this is non-negotiable, 3 Mermail Abyssteus. This is basically your best Mermail in the deck. Some people, the Mermail engine, they keep to like 5 or 6, but this card you always need 3 of. Ultimate rare, just because. Aside from being a level 7-star monster, of course you could go to Abysbalaen. It also sets up heavy for your synchro plays. Its cost is low. Discard 1 water monster, special summon it, pick up another Mermail monster from your deck, set up full combo, as well as also the idea of like that discard is you never truly neg in this deck. You always hit a positive. As soon as you send something to the graveyard, you get something back. So remember, 3 of these, non-negotiable, good to go. Like I said, this to mimic my childhood deck, so most people only play 1 of this guy, but I love to play 3 just because I love his appeal to his interaction. So Abyss Megalo, discard 2, of course both of those 2 you can actually get a positive effect from. Special summon him, give any Abyss spell or trap card from your deck. Usually you'll get the armor so you get a free spell negate, or you could get the spear so you could activate, summon back your monster, she gets sent to the graveyard. You get a free special something, which we'll talk more. I don't want to give away the check now. So yeah, 3 of these. If you want to run a more competitive variant, you could cut it down to 2 or even 1. But I just like 3 for nostalgia purposes. Again, this isn't the most competitive version, but it is, to me, definitely the most fun version. With that said, 1 Mermail Abysbalaen. Again, he's just here to set up your 7-star Abysbalaen. Target 1 Abyss spell trap and card. Add that target to your hand. Should be 1 face-up attack monster. Send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. So again, a main factor of Mermail is this idea of hand looping, which we'll also get into later. It's like you want to keep adding resources to your side while taking away resources from your other side, from your opponent's side, and taking away their options. And this is just another card that kind of adds to that effect, discarding while also bringing you back something so you can plus. You will want 1 of each of these. Usually they're involved in the same combo. 1 Mermail Abyss Strike. 1 Mermail Abyss Gun, both from the Astral packs, kind of a little bit hard to find. This guy, he's a 4-star. Once you bring it to the field, special summon, you get to bring any 3 or level Mermail from your deck to your hand. Usually you want to get Abyss Gun, because when she's sent to the graveyard for a water effect, it's a free special summon any water monster from your graveyard back to your hand. So you can imagine what type of combos you can set up with those 2. And again, you want to keep these at 1 of each. Anything more is kind of bricky and does not serve your purpose very well. Put those to the side. 1 Mermail Abyssbalaen. This is the one you'll summon off of the Abyss Spear. If this card is on the field, destroy it or send to the graveyard. Fun fact, Abyss Spear destroys it. If that trap card is destroyed or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Mermail monster from your deck except Abysbalaen. And again, any Mermail monster, whether it be one of the heavy hitters or the lower hitters, and then go off with their combos. She's the perfect one to go with. Abyss Spear, ultimate rare, love it. One of the best ultimate rares in the game, even though you can't fully see it or appreciate it here. So all the Mermails I run, now we'll get to the other side of the engine, the Atlantean cards, which are both involved for effect and for lore. So first and foremost, and I'm personally proud of these, 3 Astral Pack, ultimate rare Atlantean Dragoons. This the main engine in your deck, it's the workhorse, it's the get and go. Without these, the deck's not going anywhere. Because also, fun fact, these were made before the idea of once return was invented. So you could just keep going over and over again, especially if you get to recycle. Mainly their effect is, let me zoom in so you can appreciate all its glory. Send it to the graveyard, go through your deck, search any Sea Serpent you want, add it to your hand. Again, this could be another Atlantean Dragoons. This could be an Abyssteus, Atlantean Prince. This could be any Sea Serpent. Most of your deck is Sea Serpent, so it immediately lets you set up and get which card you need. Also, fun fact, if it's sent from your hand to activate effect, discard it. It counts. If you detach it from one of your XYZ monsters and send it to the graveyard, it counts. Anytime it hits the graveyard, you get that special summon effect, so it's always a plus. And again, just an overall beautiful card. There is no Atlantean Mermail without Atlantean Dragoons. There's also no Atlantean Mermail without 3 of this card. Abyssteus, the Atlantean Prince. He's your main setup with Deep Sea Diva. His effect, once he's norm summoned or special summoned, you send one Atlantean monster to your graveyard, you add one Atlantean monster to your hand. And like we just kind of went over, your main target will be Atlantean Dragoons. You special summon this guy, or normal summon this guy, send Atlantean Dragoons to your graveyard, add Atlantean Dragoons to your hand, and you just send Atlantean Dragoons, so you get to add any other Sea Serpent you want to your hand, whether that to be your next setup piece, or a Deep Sea Diva to set up next turn, or Moon Glacier, so you could hand loop your opponent later, or a Lapis Dragon to get a free special summon, whatever you want. But that's one of your go-to combos. But don't worry if you didn't get that now, I'll bring it up and go more in depth in the end. But yep, 3 of these guys. Favorite card in the deck, 1 star, and also really helps for those tuner or synchro plays later down. This is where a little bit controversy. I choose to only play 2 Atlantean heavy infantry. Some people play 3. If you normal summon this guy, you get a free extra normal summon. Also, if he's discarded and sent to the graveyard for any water effect, it's a free pop on your opponent's side of the field. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls destroyed if it's discarded. So again, if you discard it off the effect to summon your Abyssteus or Abysmegalo, not only do you special summon your monster, you can destroy one of your opponent's monsters. Again, taking advantage from your opponent while keeping an advantage to yours. And you might summon this, then summon Deep Sea Diva, then off of Deep Sea Diva's effect, you'll summon your Atlantean Prince. And voila, you just got 3 monsters for the cost of 1, while still setting up on your opponent. 1 Atlantean Marksman, I just play this for nostalgia. Similar effect, if he does damage to your opponent, you get the special summon. Also, if he discards to the graveyard, you're more than welcome to destroy 1 spell or trap card. So again, Atlantean Infantry, monster removal, Atlantean Marksman, spell or trap removal. Ultimate rare, love to see it. This is another workhorse of the deck. Really proud of these 2 because these are turbo pack, really rare to find in the synchro era, and even though they look almost exactly the same as this one, there's a huge price difference, but that's neither here nor there. Love them all equally though. So Deep Sea Diva, amazing card, not once per turn. When this is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent from your deck. So again, what I just went over earlier, you might normal summon him, then you normal summon her, you activate her effect, you special summon him, and then you just completely go off with dumping the Dragoons, and voila, you see already so much advantage, so many monsters, you just swarm the field. Your opponent can't really keep up, and you have so many options from your extra deck from there moving forward. But that's exactly why you want to run 3 of her. You want her to show up and pop up into your hand one way or the other. More of the Deep Sea engine, Deep Sea Minstrel. Mostly for her effect, it's just again to keep the hand loop going. You discard her along with another water monster in your hand, discard any random card from your opponent's hand, and again, if this is a Dragoon you discarded with it, you just immediately got a card back, so you didn't really pay for anything while you got to look at your opponent's deck. Not only take a card from your opponent's deck, but actually look, get some idea, get some knowledge, which is insurmountable sometimes if your opponent knows what cards that you're dealing with. That's hard for most people to play across and discard, and you can take away their hand trap, their Ash Blossom, or something that will really mess you up like a Cross-Art Designator, or something like a Nibiru which will mess up this deck. Again, this card is amazing, especially if you're going first and you want to make sure your opponent doesn't have any response. 3 OT Swap Frogs. You boy, best boy in the deck. If you know anything about this card, you want this in your deck to set up totally awesome, great water synergy, and again, so many plays, big brain plays with him. You summon him, you send one frog from your deck to your graveyard, pull him back, special summon him again, do the same thing, and of course in 1 turn with the Ronin Tony, you got with Totally Awesome, which is an Omni Gate round 1. Of course, Totally Awesome, once you destroy it, you replace himself. So yeah, I always play 3 of these. They're great, they look amazing. One of the best ultis in the game, especially if you get the Euro print. Ronin Tony, send this to the graveyard, or overlay this with your Swap Frog, get your Totally Awesome. Amazing card. one of. You don't need any more than less. It kind of recycles itself anyway. Moon Glacier. I can't say enough about this card. It does have a heavy cost, so you have to play around. You need exactly 5 water monsters in your graveyard to special summon them. But with Mermail, you get 5 easy in one turn. As long as you just keep counting it, it's amazing. Special summon, rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random, and hand loop. And those 2 cards will be pivotal, especially if you have great luck. If you already ripped before, you just keep taking away their options. Whereas finally time for them to play, they'll have limited options, plus you'll have negates. So off rip, they're at an advantage in fighting an uphill battle. Amazing card, just be careful, don't sacrifice him or let him hit the graveyard because you skip your next battle phase. But even if you have to, sometimes you don't really need the next battle phase anyway. Lapis Dragon, just need 1 of. When you search this off of Dragoons, it's automatically special summon to the field. You can sacrifice it for Halki or link it off for another monster, use it as a synchro because it is a tuner. Whatever you need. Amazing card, amazing utility. Always there, but you just need 1. Fishboard Launcher, it's limited, so you can only have 1. It's an amazing card, truly busted in this deck. 1-star tuner, sent to the graveyard. As long as you have nothing but water monsters in the graveyard, it immediately comes back. So I love to do Halki, special summon them, link them off for any other thing, send them to the graveyard, bring them back again if you need to do another link or if you need to do a synchro play. Free advantage, very chilly, no cost. He's limited to 1 for a reason. This is completely optional, and if we ever go into the side game, this is what I usually take out. But 3 secret rare, of course. Gamma-Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Sometimes you get a monster that can't be targeted, it can't be removed, it's not affected by card effects. What do? You just tribute them off. And this is great. You just summon it to your opponent's field in attack mode, low attack, you can leave the attack over it, and you got rid of one of their most powerful boss monsters. And honestly, it being water just helps out this deck so much. Here you see random decks play Gamma-Seal, they have no synergy with it except for that tribute effect, but it fits perfectly in with this deck. But I'll get to it later. If I do have to sub out, depending on going first or second, this is usually the card I sub out, and I'll show what I sub it in with. But as far as the rest of the deck, 1 Abyss Spear, again, you'll want that with Abyss Lens. 1 for 1, perfect setup, especially if you want to summon your Nepithis. Sorry y'all, tongue tied. So those are both 1-ups. Just pull them to the side. 3 Deep Sea Aria, free advantage, works great with Mermails or great with Atlanteans. You just banish 1 water monster from your graveyard, you'll have plenty. You add any one you need to your hand. Of course, you can only activate this once per turn, but honestly, you don't need it. Sometimes you just need that 1 pivotal combo piece to start off, be it that Deep Sea Diva or that Nepithis. I'm just gonna call him Atlantic Prince for y'all. 2 Pot of Avarice. I'm sorry, I prefer these over the Ultimate Rare. I have the Ultimate Rares, but I just prefer playing these in the deck, the original print super rares. And basically, Mermail runs through your deck so quickly. You absolutely need this to recycle it. Put those 5 monster cards back in your deck, shuffle, draw 2 cards, which again is nothing because Mermail puts 5 in the card graveyard like it's not anything. And finally, 1 Abyss Scale Mizuchi. You'll usually search this off Abyss Megalo, free spell negate. I mentioned earlier, usually if I do take out the 3 Gamma-Seals, it's also something to help me get around my opponent's troublesome things. So Forbidden Droplets, if y'all know anything about the market right now, these are going crazy. I say invest in them heavy because they damn near cost the exact same as the secret rare. So yeah, but amazing card. Sacrifice 1 of your monsters or spell or trap cards. All of a sudden, your opponent can't respond to it as long as it matches up. Like for instance, if you send a trap, they can't respond with a trap. If you send a monster, they can respond with a monster. If you send a spell, they can respond with a spell. Negate your opponents can't be responded to. Amazing card, truly busted, and there's a reason why it's so expensive. And it's just a beautiful card in OT. Bonus points for that. Or sometimes I'll do the 2 Lightning Storms. Mermail is definitely a deck that prefers to go first. Sometimes you have to go second and fight an uphill battle, especially if your opponent already set up negates that can really mess with your combos. So Lightning Storms could be an excellent way of clearing that back row, clearing the field, whatever, so you could go through unimpeded. And again, great looking secret rare. We love to see it. Now the extra deck. And we're getting towards the end, guys. I know this is a long video, but just stick with us. Link Karibo, can't ever go wrong with him. Just sacrifice a level 1 monster, aka your Nimbus. Your Atlantean Prince, have him in the graveyard, set up your other play.
Wait. What are those sleeves, though?
You really want us to give credit to them without us getting sponsored?
Yeah, we gotta. I gotta earn it.
Right. These are amazing. Well, I'm glad Brandon brought it up. If any of y'all are ever playing any max rarity deck or any extremely expensive deck, invest in your cards double sleeve, especially the extra deck. These are the Cherubis from, I'm not going to tell you the company, they know who they are. And I don't know how monetization on YouTube works yet because we're new, but amazing sleeves. If you know what these are, you know what these are. Definitely go after them. These are not ours at all, but amazing. So 1 Link Karibo, 1 Mermail Abyssteus. Great card. This card is actually busted. Replaces herself. Attach that Mizuchi to her. Spell negate, as well as like an attack point boost. Very good card. Marine says core anemone. Little Finding Nemo moment. Basically, it's a free monster reborn for any water card in your graveyard. It's a great extender. Link off 2 monsters you can't really use or maybe effects were negated. Bring back another water monster. Keep it going. Keep it pushing. Bujinki Ashima. This might seem kind of random. I could show you better than I could tell you when I get to the combo piece. Basically, you want to overlay. I'll just show you better because it's hard to explain here. Christian Haki Fibrax, Water Monster, Amazing Monster. Get back your Fishboard Launcher. Replaces itself when he's basically killed if you need to sacrifice it. Appaloosa Bowl, the Goddess. This is your main negate setup for the deck. Make sure that they can't move after you set up your field first. Amazing card. And of course, there's budget options for this. Get the ultra rare, get the reprint, anything. This is not budget. A bit Blackluster Soldier Chaos. Again, we run 7-star monsters in the deck, so that's why we get his extra effects of gaining attack points, banishing, or attacking twice. So this is one of the free cards that could use his ability, and also. Ghost Rare is my favorite rarity, and as you can see why. You can't even see him, but he's amazing. Our channel has budget and max rarity, whichever way you choose to go, we're here for you. Totally awesome. Like I said, some people even run 2 of these. This is for your Toad engine, as well as your Bahamut Shark engine. Short spoiler, always keep that on deck. Abyss Dweller. This card comes in and out of the meta, shuts off your opponent's graveyard effects. It's a water monster, 2 Sea Serpents, easy done, amazing. Bahamut Shark, again, he's basically a summon for your Totally Awesome. This is the main go-to play for that. Sack off Atlantean Dragoon, get your Searchman Dragoon, get this monster here on the field as a negate. This plus your Appaloosa, it already makes an incredibly hard board for your opponent to break. With monster effects and Omni negate, as well as that Mizuchi spell negate. You can see how your opponent's hard to play around. Mermail Abyssteus, if you choose to use your level 7 Mermails, his ability, anybody that has less attacks to him, I mag negate it. So again, this you might want to do this when you're trying to push for game and just overwhelm your opponent. You only need 1 of them, 1 is more than enough. But again, one of the best artworks in the game, and it's kind of pivotal to the lore. Love that card. Ultimate rare, even though it's hard to see. Let me push these to the side a little bit. And your last 3 you'll need Coral Dragon, Adamantipator Dragite, Negate, and Crocker Dragon. These 2 are just pops. Also, you can summon this off Haki Fibrax for the big brain plays. This is just if you need to sync her off and go off into a higher level monster. Again, blows up. And just honestly helps you also draw cards. So again, that constant idea of gaining advantage. These 3 you could take out for your own personal flavor. These are the ones that are a little bit more flexible, but I just like these because it gives me more plays, especially since all the deep sea cards are tuners anyway, so you might as well run some synchro monsters. Also, fun fact, the Baronet the Floor actually runs really well in this deck. I don't have it with me now because it's in my other deck, but this is one of the few that can pump out 10-star monsters like it ain't nothing. And with that said, now we're going to get to a couple of the quick combos before I let y'all go. Summon Deep Sea Diva effect. You can special summon 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from your deck. if people are gonna ask you, they're definitely gonna ask this, so be prepared for that. You summon the Atlantean Prince. Atlantean Prince effect goes off. You'll always want to send a Dragoon to the graveyard to add Dragoon. Let me get them right quick. So yeah, send one to the graveyard. One gets added to your hand. I can zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Take one to your hand. Don't forget your other land Dragoons lets you special summon. Well, not yet. It lets you search a Lapis Dragon, and remember, when you search Lapis Dragon, it's automatically summoned. And when you look at that, we already have combo pieces set up. So what I like to do personally is to sacrifice these two off. So you synchro those off. You get your Halky Fabrics, one of the few League monsters we play in this deck, but one of the ones that's most pivotal. You summon him. Off of his effect, you get your Fishboard Launcher. I'll be sure. Special summon your Fishboard Launcher. Pro tip: always use these. Put some of these monsters in defense, just in case your opponent disrupts. You're not putting out a monster with 200 attack and about to take a punch to the face. Now, remember when I said that we would have a reason for that card I played earlier? Yeah. So you want to link these off. They have to be both the same level. Both of them are level 1. That allows you to summon the Bujinki. Now, if you recall, caller, I said add 1 Dragoons to your hand and you have 1 Dragoons in the graveyard. His ability lets you special summon 1 from the graveyard and 1 from the hand as long as they're the same level. So you special summon one land Dragoons from your graveyard, special summon the other one from your hand. You overlay these. You want to overlay them for your Bahamut Shark. Also, you see at this point your graveyard has exactly 4 cards. That's very important. Now you have your Bahamut Shark made with these 2 level 4s. You sacrifice 1. Well, detach. Again, your Atlantean Dragoons just got sent to the graveyard. So guess what that means? You get to search. You pull Moon Glacier, and now you have exactly 5. So voila. But to finish Bahamut Shark's effect, you will summon a Totally Awesome. There's your Omni Negate. You also summon Moon Glacier because you have exactly 5. You have exactly 5 water monsters in the deck. In the graveyard. So you summon her. Automatically take 2 cards away from their deck. 2 cards away from their hand. So let's just say they had a 5-card hand. These 2 go away. They're already at 3, and you already have a negate on the field that messes them up. And you're still. The great thing about this is you're still not done. So where do we go from here? This is kind of up to you. Personally, I like making the Appaloosa, and honestly, I feel like that's the best play. So we'll link off Christian. Actually, you could keep your Christian Hiker favorites. Like I said, at this point, you could go into kind of whatever you want. This just depends on your own particular flavor. I just personally, if you're gonna summon back Fishboard Launcher, do it now, because once he's in the graveyard, you can't do Fishboard's effect anymore. So bring back Fishboard Launcher. After this point, you could do a link 3. Well, a link 4. Let's look. Yeah, Appaloosa is a link 4. My bad, y'all. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Send it to the graveyard. Also, don't forget, you just send that land Dragoons to the graveyard. You get your Appaloosa with 3 negates on it, plus you're Totally Awesome. And now you get to search again for another Sea Serpent. And at this point, you can just have like an Atlantean heavy infantry or something else just for follow-up. And again, this was all done off of 1 normal summon of our favorite girl, Deep Sea Diva. And this is usually just your go-to combo of just having this. Yeah. So that's pretty much your ultimate start. That's pretty much your ultimate starter. I think I have 1 more combo for y'all, and just give me time to reset and we could go from there. This one's fairly reminiscent. The only difference is this one kind of helps with fun fact. When you did last Atlantean Dragoon search, you should have get this one. because automatically you have enough water monsters in your hand. Just summon him. He gives you your spell negate with so many cards, y'all. So many cards. With this is your spell negate. Again, he could you can also sacrifice one of your other monsters. Probably sacrifice Christian Hockey Fabrics. He could attack twice, and he has 3,200. So that's how you end that combo. Just remember. Now for this one, all you need is Abyssteus and Dragoons. So once I find my Dragoons, I'll be right with you. So many cards. You want these two in hand. Send the Lantern Dragoons to the graveyard. Special summon him. His effect. I usually do chain 1, chain 2. Chain 1, Lantern Dragoons lets me search. Chain 2, he also. Sorry for the weird cut, y'all. We'll just pick up right where we left off. You'll add a bit spike to your hand, and Lantern Dragoons lets you search for Sea Serpent. You'll want the Lantern Prince. Add that to your hand. Notice that you will only special summon, so now you have a normal summon. Normal summon Abyss Spike. Abyss Spike's ability changes and activates. You can read that right quick. When this card's normal summon special summon, you can discard one water monster to the graveyard. Add one level 3 water monster from your deck to your hand. You'll discard the Lantern Prince you just picked up. His ability lets you special summon any other water monster in your graveyard once he's paid for cost. So you get to sacrifice your Lantern Dragon. You get to bring back your Land Dragoons. And at this point, you already know what we're gonna do. So let's just cut to the chase. 4 and 4. Where is that beautiful? You'll do this to get your. Sorry guys, just looking for the card. There you are. Bahamut Shark. Bahamut Shark. His effect activates. Again, send Lantern Dragoons to the graveyard. Special summon your. Out of breath. Special summon your Totally Awesome, which should be over here. There we go. Totally Awesome. You already know with this chain. Don't forget, search off of that Dragoons we just sent to the graveyard. Usually, same thing comes up. Moon Glacier comes back at this point. Chain 2, kill your opponent with that. And from here, you could go back into the similar one that we just did about the idea of getting Apollos on the field. Or if you want, you could also, instead of that, you could link these two off. But again, remember, if you link him off, you lose your next battle phase. But we're trying to kill and negate the opponent anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You'll link summon Marine Sis. She could bring back any of your water monsters anyway. Also, since you just sent a Dragoon to the graveyard, you will pick back up your Abysmegalo. You would send 2 water monsters to the grave, special summon him. You get to search for this. You will overlay these 2 to get your Abysgaios. Or you could link these 2 off plus her to go into Black Luster. Like I said, one of my favorite things about this deck is all the options that you could do at one point. Yeah, also I realized I talk fast, so sorry about this. You can rewind it, slow it down, or whatever. His effect, he negates any monster on the field that has less attack points with him. You can activate this on his turn or your turn or their turn. Yeah, also attach that to him, plus a spell negate, and Moon Glacier's in the graveyard, so you can't do your next battle phase. But this is just a quick setup, and you can honestly just keep going. And the reason I'm not kind of leaving the combo here, because it's ultimately up to you. You know what cards are in graveyard, you know what cards in your hand. You have the ability to keep messing over your opponent and keep them on the edge of their seat. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for all the checks and combos. While I clean these cards up, I'll just go ahead and tell you a little bit about the lore. So in Yu-Gi-Oh lore, there are the Atlanteans. They were having a war with the Fire Kings, and they were kind of losing, so they needed the help of the mermails. The problem is the mermails were ironically, despite what their artworks looks like, they're a really relatively peaceful race. And the only reason they agreed to help out the Atlanteans in the first place was because they took their sacred treasure, their ring, which belongs to their king. And so that basically meant the mermaids were enslaved by the Atlanteans. They had to do their bidding, and over time, the king of the Atlanteans wore this ring, and he got taken over slowly. And when he got taken over, he became our favorite card, Abyssteus himself. Because as you see, that was the Atlantean king, Poseidon, the Atlantean dragon, who's their king. Abyssteus is the mermail leader. He took over. He destroyed the rest of the Fire Kings, but he also freed the rest of the mermaids. And that's just it. I love decks that have synergy, I love decks that there's a reason why these cards are paired together, have reason behind being put together, and it shows by how well they overlap. Like, these cards actually were meant to be together, but due to the lore too. But that's all I got. This is Max Rarity Murphy signing off. Please like, subscribe, comment, and if you like what we're doing, keep pushing forward, and we'll have more content out there for you. Thank you.